There were 3 internal candidates who were interviewed for the post and deemed unsuitable. The job was then advertised externally and 18 CVs were received, but only Mr Bashir was selected from these external candidates. Now, I've spoken to the BBC, people at the BBC in the interim, and they've never heard of such a situation where only one candidate gets selected for what is a very expensive process in advertising externally. Can you say any light for that of the committee of why it is that only one candidate from 18 was interviewed, and that one candidate was Mr Bashir?
I can't shed any light on that because when you're running an organisation as big and as complex as the BBC...
do you think that's right? Do you think it's right there? Do you think it's right that that was the case, that 18 CVs were received, but only one? I mean, presumably this wasn't like chances. It's pretty serious people who'd be applying for this, and only one person granted an interview.
I really can't comment on that. I mean, the person who's in charge of this, I think, is Jonathan Munro, the head of news gathering then, now deputy head of news. He would be able to amplify what the process was. I go back, Chair. I was running the organisation of 20,000 odd plus people. You can't be across every detail.
Yeah, but this is a liar. This man's a known liar who's come back through your door. And even if you found out about it afterwards, you just didn't even think about inquiring how the process actually occurred, therefore.
Well, I go back. It's not for me to second-guess directors or people who are running large departments. I go back. You trust them. You trust them to make the judgments, to do all the soundings out that need to be done. I read in Mr Macquarie's report that Jonathan Munro had spoken to Steve Hewlett, the former editor of Panorama, someone whose judgment you would trust. But, you know, they came to their own decision about the rehiring of Martin Bashir. And as I say, it's also clear that if we knew then what we know now, then of course he wouldn't have been rehired.